What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Never Miss Mondays. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Matthew.
And we are the Mondays. Welcome back.
Yeah, we are.
We've been trying to figure out this whole podcasting thing over the last couple of months, and we've been having some really fun technical issues that we're still getting resolved, but we are working with it as best as we can. So it's becoming frustrating, but we are doing our best, and here we are. So we didn't think the episode was even going to happen. We thought we fixed what was wrong, and then we went to film it, and it was wrong again. But we have figured it out. So we're doing the video literally off of our laptop instead of the camera because there's some issues that are going on with the camera right now. So we're just putting it together and making it work.
Trying step by step.
Doing everything that we can. So Chester heard the mics come out, so he is officially joined as usual. He's our mascot icon, Mr. Cooter. This is his spot for every episode if you've not watched an episode previously. Best guy in the whole world. I mean, just look at him. He's just the best. But yeah, we are the Mondays. Cool little silly fun update. I bought my wedding dress on Saturday. Ooh, I know.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, Matthew's gonna pass away, die dead.
She's
Your heart's just gonna stop.
She's gonna take one step. I'm gonna look up and be like, well, goodbye.
That's it for me, folks.
That's all she wrote. I'm dead. I'm gone.
No, literally. I had an appointment. I hadn't been yet at all. And we get married right under a year. Like this, yeah, a year was like 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was finally time to go shopping. And so I made an appointment in Louisville. And that was with my old college roommate, Olivia. Yeah, her name's also Olivia. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I get really overwhelmed with clothes really easily, and especially in like big groups of people. So I was like, you know what? I am just going to keep it to my mom, my grandma, and my maid of honor. And I'm going to go to the bridal shop that Olivia works at. And I know I'm not going to find anything, but that's just going to give me an opportunity to at least find what style I like. Like, that was the plan. And then next weekend, like this coming weekend, was supposed to be my mom, your sister, one of my bridesmaids, and my sister. And that was when I was hoping I would find my dress, right? Wrong, bitch. Wrong. Fucking wrong. Literally the most wrong thing. Wrong plan. Insane. Right? Literally insane. So, this is just going to turn into a life update episode too. Okay. We're going to talk life updates here. Don't look at me like that. Matthew likes when I talk about my wedding dress.
I do.
But
I do a lot.
We're literally like pulling in. Invisible String by Taylor Swift is playing, which is a song we want to play at our wedding, right? And then we get in there, and I'm trying on the dresses, whatever. We're like basically already over the appointment time, and Olivia, my bridal stylist, my friend, she's like, wait, you have to, like, I found this dress. What do you think about this? Try it on. And I was like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful dress I've ever seen in my life. What do you mean? Where did you pull this from? And so I put it on, and I was like, holy shit. And then I was like, well, fuck. I had two other ones that I was picking through. Meanwhile, while I'm trying that dress on, another song that we want in our wedding starts playing. And I'm like, okay, this is too much. Too much is going on right here. And so I put the one on, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm actually so obsessed with this dress. It's not even funny. And then I was like, well, I need to compare it to the other two that have been my top two this whole time. And so I try on those other two. Immediately I put one of them on. I'm like, nope. She doesn't give me anywhere the same feeling. We love her. She's beautiful, but she's not the moment. And then I put the one on that I really it was the first dress I tried on, and I really thought that that could have been the one, but it was missing something. Like when I put it on, I was like, oh my God. But then as more I started to think about it, it was like kind of missing something. I put it on, maybe like a minute went by, and I was like, no, it doesn't beat it. And so I was like, I need to put the other dress back on. So I put the other dress back on. Done. Done deal. Done deal. I'm sobbing. Mom's sobbing. Grandma's sobbing. Val's sobbing. Olivia's sobbing. Like, it was a wreck. And then, like, we put everything together. It was absolutely perfect. Then the crash out started of, like, okay, now what the fuck do I do? Because I had zero regard in finding a dress today. All I wanted to do was figure out what style I liked and, like, not get overwhelmed and have a good experience. And here I am, like, so confused because I'm like, this is literally the dress of my dreams. I feel so much like myself in this dress. Like, every emotion that everybody talks about how knowing it's your dress, I was feeling times like a million. And I was like, I don't know if I should go and like continue to try on. I feel like I'm going to get in my head. Like, and I wanted, that moment was like, I just wouldn't have changed anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I talked to your family and, they saw everything and got to talk to them, but I ended up buying the dress. Whee! She's mine. She's getting made in Australia right now. But yeah, so we're about a year away, but I now officially have my wedding dress.
Ooh.
So I'm one step closer to actually being a Monday because I keep branding shit as Monday, but I'm not one yet.
Close enough.
I mean, I basically am. So, like, whatever. Like, kill me. God forbid. But now I'm, like, one step closer to being a Monday. And so, take that. So, that's my life update. I am also 11 and a half weeks out. Prep is literally baller. Everything is great. I
You're
love my
coming
life.
in. Amazing.
I literally look so crisp. Like, I don't even... You probably can't even see it because I'm sun bleached right now.
Sun bleached.
95 degrees and UV like 11 today. How was I not going to absolutely singe myself? For real.
Must be nice.
So amazing. But no, prep's literally going like so freaking smooth. It's actually like kind of terrifying how easy it is right now. And just like not even like physically. Like physically it is hard like some days. But like mentally I just am like cruising right along. Like I've had no cravings at all. I like my hunger I'm like mentally dealing with very easily. I'm also like keeping myself busy as fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like I have time to think about being hungry or even like being like overwhelmed with protocols, and like my body's responding like absolutely beautifully. I started prep at like 132. I'm down to 123.3 this morning. Which is absolutely amazing, and I'm still at like 180 carb on my training days, which is literally wild because that's more than what I started prep at last year. So like
insane. Ooh.
I'm so happy. I'm literally so happy. Like everything's going so well. My suit is decided, and you all are never ever gonna guess the color. She's so sexy. And I like it's so out of left field. No one would ever guess her about that color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 11 and a half weeks. Everything's baller. Everything feels good. My butt is still big. My waist is literally disappearing. I have veins coming out of my biceps. I have veins coming out of my cooter. Like, who
And
am I?
on your abs.
Yeah, I literally have yeah, that's what I meant by like my cooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, veins coming out of my abs. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, everything's really great. But anyways, how's your life?
Same. I haven't changed.
I get on here and yap
Yeah.
for forever. King Matthew's in his grind.
Yeah.
King Matthew is in his grind.
Back locked in. Tracking.
We got him
everything.
getting everything, which like you eat the same stuff normally. It's just like more like now you're wanting to go through specific phases.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm-
You're very good at like, I mean, you've chilled and maintained and added muscle mass easily.
Yeah.
So
like getting back up to my maintenance won't be hard or long at all.
right.
And then once I get that rock there for a couple weeks and then figure out what I want to do from there.
Right, exactly. So but we got him locked in. King Matthews put on some muscle mass.
I want to be
Hit a little flex
unrecogn-
for him. Hit a little flex
No.
for him. Come on, hit him a little.
So,
Yeah.
no.
The wedding's coming up.
Yeah. Goal is to be unrecognizable.
Sister, same. Cheers to that. Clink, clink, clink. Yeah. 2 bodies stepping out in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, like we have to do it to him. So yeah,
We're
but
going to.
King Matthews in his grind. I mean, fuck, if I look anything like I do on Saturday, like I did on Saturday, it's game over. Like, I don't mean to toot the horn, but like, oh my god, that dress that was made for me. It's just like it's perfect.
Oh, I can't wait.
I've just been living in like la la land of just like la 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 la, so in love, la 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 la, doing all the things. So that's just been my life, is working like crazy hours, but also just being like la 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 la. Because we also like still don't have to plan our wedding until I don't know, another like 7 months.
Yeah, we still have a hot minute.
Planning, aka selecting what we want in the drop down area in the shared Excel sheet. So like, if y'all are stressing yourself out about a United States wedding, fuck that. Get married somewhere else outside the United States. Save like 20 grand. Get married in a prettier place. Be already at your honeymoon. And have wedding planning be a million bajillion times easier.
She said it.
That's all I have to say.
Do it.
But anyways, now that we're done with, I just feel like I haven't updated people in so long about my life.
You're just yapping.
Yeah, so I feel like we needed to sit down and give a little debrief on what's going on in the world. But yeah, want to talk today about, now we'll actually get into the topic instead of just crazy stuff. Want to talk about like getting into online personal training, because I feel like when I got into it, it was a question I was asking so many people, just like, how the fuck do you do it? Like, what do I need to have set up? And like wanting everything to be freaking perfect before I made the jump, which wasted so much of my time. I was just so worried about the stupidest of shit for the longest time that held me back from months, if not a year, of coaching, which is super annoying, but you live and you learn, right? We're really talking about like how to get into online personal training. So
Just like and coaching in general.
yeah, and even just like what, getting good experience like prior to coaching, which we did like a green and red flags episode for coaching, which I would definitely, if you're a coach, watching that too, because, we say that from the coach's side, but also being in the client seat for a while, both of us as well too. And so like picking up on those certain things I think is really helpful. But yeah, so getting into online coaching can be like super overwhelming, because it's like even for me, I was so afraid to start it just because of fucking taxes. I was like, I don't want to get sued by the government. I don't want the IRS to come knocking at my door. Like, girl, the IRS doesn't even know you exist. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like just set aside 30%. Like, I thought it had to be this whole big bougie setup, like everything. Just set aside 30%. Hire someone to do your taxes year end. If you make enough money, have a financial team that you're keeping on retainer on a month-to-month basis. But just set aside 30% and hire a fucking tax person, do it at the end of the year. And you can contact them ahead of time, and they can instruct you if you need to set up like quarterly payments, or and like what your estimated payment would be, or if you don't, like what your estimated payment would be at the end of the year, so that way you don't get hit with like a $7,000 tax bill your first time, and then you get absolutely fucked like somebody like I know. Me. Don't
Way
do
to
that,
go.
please. Set aside 30% and learn from my mistakes, okay? I paid it. The IRS is watching. My taxes are paid. My bills are paid. Bitch, I'm grown, okay? But you don't know how it is. Do you know that show?
No.
My 600-Pound Life? The girl Amy, where she's like, my bills are paid. I'm grown.
That Probably
You
from
don't
TikTok.
know how
No.
it is.
No.
Try being my size, Amy.
Okay, yes. I know that one. I know that one.
Yeah, it's the same people.
Well, okay, then yeah, I know it.
Yeah. That's what I think of. But set aside 30% for taxes. Talk to somebody beforehand. Blah 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 blah. And then as well too, like getting into coaching. One, don't. This might come off kind of crazy, but bear with me here. Okay, you guys
You
are
are
here
crazy.
because you want my advice. Hopefully, if you're a hater and you're watching, thank you. Continue to watch. Helps me. But I'm on one today. I don't know what's going on.
No, because right before we started, you were
I
just
was so
quiet.
tired. I know.
Quiet,
I was
dead,
saving all my
exhausted.
energy. I was saving all my energy for the podcast.
Click record, and then you're just yapping.
I gotta let the girlies, and now I guess the guys, know what's up. They gotta know what I'm about.
Go for it.
And it's been a while since we've given them a good little podcast. So, don't psych yourself out thinking that like these legal qualification certifications are going to teach you everything. Okay. If you're training in person or whatever, it is very good to have an ASM, to have an ACE, to have an ISSA. Great. Legally helps in some situations. Okay. That is probably going to teach you about 2% of what you're going to utilize as an online coach. A lot of what NASM teaches is in-person assessments, as well as more rehab-based training, as well as extremely generalized nutrition advice. And like only scientific nutrition advice. It's not talking about case studies. It's not talking about application. It's not talking about, it's talking about cutting, calorie deficit. No shit. I paid $800 for you to tell me that, cutting is a calorie deficit, obviously. So don't go into it thinking I want to be a trainer, like these certifications are going to teach me everything that I need to know. Where you're going to get experience from is, yes, you will get information from that. A lot of science, anatomy, things, explanations, things to reference. But it's going to be up to you to apply those things. My biggest advice for you would be to get a coach first. Even no matter how long you've been in the coaching game, there's always going to be someone that knows more than you. And always someone that's seeing something from an outside eye. Hire a coach. Also, how can you expect people to invest in you if you refuse to invest in yourself? Period. You need to know, sit in the client seat too. Know what you like, what you don't like. Learn those things. Pick up on those things. Challenge yourself in your journey as well too. Because again, I would never sit here and preach something to my clients that I've not done before. If I've not been able to follow a deficit, if I've not been able to go into a growing phase and be uncomfortable with the amount of body fat that I've put on, I would not be able to coach people to do that. And I'm not going to protocol something that I haven't done or wouldn't do or something like that. So put yourself through the actual journey as well too before trying to guide other people through that. But get a coach first. Learn from them. Ask questions. See how, the communication is, how they're sending things to you. How from check-ins to calls to whatever it may be. Keep an eye on those things, and those are things that you could remember when you do start coaching. But that's where you'll get a lot of your experience, is having a coach. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like the most.
For the longest time,
I mean, you
we
got
had,
so much experience just from having me as a coach for 5 years.
That's what I was about to say. So it's like I had basic generic knowledge that we would get from the swim team would bring in a nutritionist or whatever. So basic bare minimum knowledge, which is pretty much zero knowledge. Kind of, pretty much. And
it was just overall health advice.
And then you coach me for the last
5 years.
Yeah. Whenever pretty much 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. And then seeing you obviously hear a lot of the things I talk about when I'm doing
Mhm.
check-ins. Like you're usually here when I'm doing check-ins and whatnot. And so like you, I feel like have absorbed like 70 to 80% of your knowledge
Mhm.
from me, and seeing it actually applied with like real life people, and seeing, you know,
Like,
clients that need more emotional, or clients that
mhm.
need more just
Like,
direction,
yeah,
or
I've heard
adherent versus non-adherent.
everything. So like some of your clients, like their feedback on like what's going on with them or
Yeah.
anything good and bad, like the response and what direction we're going with this
Yeah.
person,
Like
either if
actual
it's good or bad.
application.
Yeah. And then like the same thing with you, like even now, like with Meg, your I know your
Yeah.
check-ins and your response to her, and then
Yeah.
what her like, hey, Meg responded, like I got my check-in back. This is what's different now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
And it's usually like changes we're expecting,
Mhm.
and things like that. But I feel like that definitely taught us the most, you know, is having a coach yourself. Um, but then, you know, so this is like, you know, scientifical getting into being a coach. Also, to read articles, read case studies, reach out as well too to other coaches. I have no embarrassment saying I don't know certain things, or I'm not as confident in certain things. I have reached out to multiple coaches in the industry, being like, you are really good at this, and I love your coaching style with this. You know, I would love to be able to pick your brain on a couple of questions, or like, you know, how did you get more, you know, confident, not confident, how did you get more well versed in this area? Like what resources do you use, you know, whatever it may be. I do that shit all the time, because again, there are people that know more than you everywhere.
Mhm.
And why would I be embarrassed to admit something? Like if you're a good coach, you can admit that you don't know something, and but you also have to end up working to know that thing and get confident in that. So, I think that that's a big piece, and it's just being able to have a coach, but also reach out to other coaches that you
Mhm.
see posting that, you know, seem trustworthy to you. They seem educated. Like reach out to them. And I've never had a coach that's responded back not willing to help or not willing to answer a question for me. Um, and so I think that, you know, don't be afraid to do that. Um, Also with that, I would, you know, I started out coaching people for free.
Mhm.
I was begging anybody and everybody to yeah, Matthew was my first client, but I was begging anybody and everybody to let me coach them. Like for free, literally for fucking free. Like all macros, workout, everything for free. I did that probably for 4 or 5 months. Then I was charging $50 a month, and I even still had people like price objecting for
Mhm.
$50 a month, and I'd be like, "Fuck it, I'll do it for free." Like I don't care. I just knew I needed the experience and the exposure, and
Yep.
like being able to apply those things, and then
It's almost like you kind of like a like portfolio.
right,
You needed practice,
right. I needed, you know.
and all it took was like if your first like five.
I mean,
Okay,
even you made me feel hella confident
yeah,
as a
like
coach.
if you only had five and they were all free, well, two of them they responded amazing. Like, look at this. Like,
Yeah.
then it could be like, here's a client that I coach. Look at the difference they did in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it was one, building my confidence, like knowing I actually knew what I was talking about. But then, you know, so I did that for probably about 6 to 7 months, and I knew then, like, I just wasn't in the world of like owning a business and doing those kinds of things. I really just had the passion for coaching, and so I had followed McKenna for a very, very, very long time, like back in, God, probably since like 2019. I'd followed her, and
Damn.
this was like 2021, 2022 at this point. And so I'd followed her since like 2019. And, you know, I wasn't like super invested in her stuff, but I knew of her, I knew about her. And she posted a assistant coach application link, and I was like, I had just interviewed with another company like a week prior and didn't get the position. And so I was like still like butthurt about it. And so I was like, no, I'm not. And like part of the reason why like I feel like I didn't get the other one was like working a full-time job, and so I was just like, no, like they're not going to take me, so I'm not going to apply. And then like a week later she posted it again. I was like, no, fuck this. I'm not applying. Like I'm not wasting my time. I don't care. And then she posted it for the third time. I was at the gym and I was like, God damn, they really still haven't found somebody. Like it's fucking crazy. AC positions were going like crazy back then. Like that was when online coaching was first booming. And I was like, damn, this still isn't filled. So I was like, no, I'm still not going to waste my fucking time. So I DM'd her and I was like, hey, do you care if I have a full-time job? She was like, no, if you can balance your client load, then I don't care. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put in an application. Well, 4 days later, I got the job.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still with Ignite today.
You're all best friends, and she's in the wedding.
Yeah, now McKenna and I are absolute best friends, and I have been with Ignite for about 2.5 years now. So we've done absolutely amazing things together. And, so getting into online coaching, it was really just getting my education, finding out what I liked as a client, I feel like was big too. Like having my coach, like finding what my coach did that I really liked as a client, and then being able to carry that over, or things maybe I didn't like, whatever it may be, whether that be the system they use or a certain way of communication or something like that. Like I was able to use that information, coach people for free, make workout programs for free, do those things for people, build, like you said, like your portfolio. And then if you want to start your own business, obviously the business side of things is a completely different story, with how big you want to do things and whatever, so hire a business coach. Or if you're just looking to get into coaching, apply to be an assistant coach somewhere, because then the person who owns the company is doing all the back end business stuff, whereas you really just get to coach. You have your own brand, within their brand. Some of them take sales calls, some don't. You're bringing in your own clients, but you are really just coaching. You're not doing, all of like the software stuff, the automations, editing, like all that kind of stuff, the legal stuff behind it, the admin work. You're really just coaching, which is what I've done for Ignite. And so there's like a little bit of a difference between the two, but obviously the business side of things is like a whole nother story. But online coaching is the most, amazing thing. I have such a passion for it. And I like tried to talk myself out of buying my NASM so many times. When I bought it in 2020, and I thought it was like the biggest waste of money I was ever going to buy. I was like, this is so stupid. I don't even know why I'm getting this. Like, it's fucking idiotic. And here we are 5 years later. And I absolutely love it. It's my dream job, and I love doing it every day. And I'm excited for what is going to come in the coaching world. So, yeah.
Now we're just rocking and killing it.
Yeah. So we're
It's
getting
been fun.
Matthew even more immersed in the online coaching world. So we're excited for him to take off booming as well. So Mr. Monday. Lil Monday.
Yep. Get it right.
Yeah, Lil Monday. But yeah, and myself as a coach, I'm always open to answering questions as well too from other people who want to be coaches or are coaches right now, and things like that. And so my DMs are always open to be able to talk about those things. And so don't hesitate to reach out if you're like, I'm so confused about this, I don't know what the hell to do. I'm always happy to help. And yeah. So it's kind of like a short little snippet, but obviously, majority of it, depends really too on what you want to do. But I think that would be my best advice. So do you have anything else?
No, you pretty much just said everything that we were going to say.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. I'm
Just
quick and
having a
efficient
little
today.
Yap fest. Letting you get it all out.
I know. I needed a good yap. I haven't sat and yap with them for a while. I'm like holding Callie's hand over here. She's being so freaking adorable. She's sweeping away now.
She's been very, like, cuddly.
I know, because I was gone for so long. She needs her nails done, though.
Get to it.
She
She's
can get a
such a
little
pain.
manicure. God, she's so bad
Like,
at that.
Draco doesn't care.
Literally.
She sees the little clippers and she's gone.
Literally. And she doesn't mind you touching her feet.
No,
Like-
it's the noise.
I can just sit here and touch her feet all day long, but she just hates that freaking thing. She's just a big old wussy. That's what it is.
She's scared of everything.
Facts. Well, we will let her have sweet little dreams. So, well, we will catch you all in 2 weeks. We're still keeping the bi-weekly episodes, but we're going to do what we can while we figure out the technical issues with the camera. So hopefully this comes out okay. But we appreciate you guys always, and
Yep.
we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.